What's up, guys? Thank you for joining us. I am very excited today. I'm going to have 3 guests joining me. Margot, you ain't supposed to be on here. Margot is shooting right now. We're on the blind spotting set, and she should not be on this chat. She's actually in a scene. I'm being joined by 3 guests, Mika Burton, Khleo Thomas, and Andre Meadows. We're going to get into those as we get to them, but I want to get going quickly because we don't have a lot of time. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about a lot of Snowpiercer stuff right now, and I'm going to look for Mika Burton to start us off. Hey.
Hi.
There she is. Great
Sorry,
to see you too.
Joining us today.
Yes. Who is this?
This is Rue. He's very new, so I'm kind of on puppy duty, but I hope you don't mind a little extra baby joining us.
I never mind a puppy coming along.
Perfect. Well, obviously we're here to talk about Snowpiercer, so now that we're seriously deep into season 3, I just want to know what was some of your moments in season 1 and 2.
Okay, but first of all, let me just tell people a little bit about you. So if they're coming just from
Sure.
Don't know. But because Mika Burton's really like a legend in the cosplay world, and she's really blown up in that space, and now she's began hosting, and she's hosting shows and tournaments, and she's getting into the gaming space, and I'm very happy that you joined us on the Blerds panel as somebody really in these spaces for real. So thank you for coming with us and talking about Snowpiercer. All right. Season 1 and 2.
Yes.
It's hard for, it's been so long. We've been working on this show for like 5 years now or something. And it's hard for me to differentiate because I don't watch them necessarily in real time with everybody. So it's a little hard to differentiate what happens when. But I do remember like that in the first season, that grilled cheese sandwich scene was like kind of the thing that made me want to be on the show,
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something really special about getting to play a moment of like genuine love for something so simple as a grilled cheese sandwich. And the unfortunate side effect of that is that was almost 4 years ago, and I haven't eaten a grilled cheese sandwich since. I had to eat like 12 of them in the scene, and like I was so sick afterwards, and it ruined it for me. That
is absolutely tragic. Throughout the show, throughout the show, the writers have done an amazing job of building up some really cool plot twists. So as an actor, when you read the script, how do you get excited for those?
I don't read things until like the last possible second, and I can on this show I get to say that that's like an acting technique. I'm also just kind of a lazy actor sometimes, but so the surprise is genuine for me most of the time because they are I've like never expected what happened on this show, and so like me and what I found in Snowpiercer is that getting to do that as close to when we're shooting as possible, which is I'm not at it for the first time when we show up on set, but like saving my surprise to closer to when we shoot allows me to have a more real response to such a thing. So that's kind of my strategy, and I am like genuinely surprised. The writers be coming up with some wild shit for us to do.
I guess that's method acting, right? You're genuinely surprised when you show up.
Yeah. Me and Daniel doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And knowing all these surprises and exciting things that are happening, is there anything, obviously without spoiling it, that you're really excited for fans to see coming up?
I think the episode that's airing tonight is maybe my favorite one ever to shoot. It's maybe the most fun we had on set, and I wish I could tell everybody what was going to happen, but it's literally airing in a few hours. Like in terms, it was a chance for us to like stretch out in a pretty different way. So I'm excited for that one. Like you'll see, the whole cast gets to do something very different for us.
Oh, yeah. That's exciting. And I know there are probably people in the live that don't know a lot about Snowpiercer. So if you had to give a few little tidbits as to why they should watch this show, what would it be?
Well, if you like trains and you like action, if you like sci-fi shows, if you like shows that sort of point towards a lot of the problems that we're facing in our current social climate, but allow us the escape of participating in a bit of a fantasy world, it's good for all of those things, I think. So I don't know, it's a fun show. If you like fun, you should watch Snowpiercer. That's my pitch for getting you to catch up.
10 out of 10 pitch.
While I have you here, you grew up you had like theater and TV and movies is like a big part of your life, obviously. And so who were some of your favorite BIPOC actors and characters that inspired you?
Well, I feel like I'm legally obligated to say, as LeVar Burton's daughter, LeVar Burton was a huge inspiration for me growing up.
I don't know. Those of us of a particular age, yes, your pops is a hero of mine as well.
But honestly, I think that he is, and also Tracy Toms, seeing Rent when I was as a kid, especially as somebody who was in musical theater, I aspired to be like her. Obviously, I can't hit that solo note in Seasons of Love. Like, that's a little too hard for me. I'm only a second soprano, but you know, that she was such a huge inspiration to me, seeing somebody like me in musical theater growing up. So I think those two definitely top my charts. How about you?
Oh man, I mean, LeVar too as well. Yeah, your pops is a huge inspiration to me. Sidney Poitier, obviously, but so many. I mean, like, also I grew up like loving just old movies, so getting to watch Louis Armstrong as he like made his way from like musician to being on screen and back to musician again, and following like Count Basie's journey in that same space. Like a lot of musicians who ended up doing a lot of work in film, I found their journeys to be particularly informative for me, just watching them navigate the different spaces.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're an actress, but you also are big in the social media world, and you have a lot of people watching you. So what do you hope to show the next generation of young BIPOC nerds like us out there?
I think, honestly, the whole reason I have my job and my career is because when I was growing up, I didn't have anybody who looked like me on my walls and posters, you know? And I was always a nerd. I've always been loving musicals and gaming and all of that, like nothing very stereotypical for me. So I wanted to be able to be that for somebody, you know, that maybe one day, I don't know if I'll be on somebody's wall. I don't know if kids do posters these days. Maybe that's very 90s of me.
Wallpaper, I think, is what we call the background.
Yeah, I want to be somebody's phone wallpaper, essentially. So I want them to be able to point to me and go, if she can do it, so can I. And maybe, you know, as you I'm sure know, take some of the hits in the space that comes with being some of the few BIPOCs in our region, in our game. But if it makes it easier for them to really thrive and succeed, then I feel like, you know, I've done my job.
Oh man, I love that. That's really great. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think like it is, you speak exactly to the importance of representation in all of the various industries, but in the entertainment industry in particular, because we're so visible. And there's something wrong, I think, when you grow up and don't see anybody that looks like you in mainstream media. That's a failure of mainstream media. You're missing out on being able to inspire a huge swath of people. So
absolutely, which I think is honestly the perfect way to wrap into our last question, which is, how important is it to have representation of color in this industry? I'll let you kick this one off. Yeah.
Most important. Just what I mean, like it's the whole thing, and it's not even just of color, right? It's in all minority and marginalized groups, and it's not even just about putting us on screen, right? It's about also writing stories that deal with the issues that we're facing in our communities and that are written by us and for us in the way that they are also for everybody, just like Friends could be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to assume that because a story features people of color that it is only for people of color. And I think we're we're slowly creeping towards a place in this industry for that.
100%. And I think it's also important in that same vein to have different kinds of stories about people of color. Like, yes, we have struggled and we will continue to struggle. We're not far from the struggle ending, but let's not just tell struggle stories. Let's tell silly stories, scary stories. That's why I love seeing all this Black focused horror. You know, I feel like it's a genre we haven't tapped into yet. Let's see some more rom-coms. Let's see some more interracial couples. Let's see some more of everything. So everybody, no matter who they are, feels represented. And I feel like we're slowly getting there, but I can't wait to see more of it in the future.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, Mika, I feel like I'm rushing through these things. So
well, you got some more people to get in, and you know.
Thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you for talking about Snowpiercer. Thank you for watching Snowpiercer, and thank you for all of you do. And I think everyone in the comments is thanking you for bringing your puppy as well.
Bye.
Next up, we're gonna let in Cleo Thomas. I'm like shockingly on schedule right now, y'all. We're nailing this.
What up, bro?
What's going on, bro? How are you doing?
Amazing, man. How about yourself?
I'm so good. I'm on like, this got me to be break from set for blind spotting. So I ran over here to talk to y'all, and it's great. It's nice to sit down for
sure. Yeah.
Let me just right quick, for anyone who doesn't know, because they happen to be coming from my feed and for some reason don't follow, shouldn't be true, but that it's true for some people. Cleo Thomas is an actor and an influencer, an artist and entrepreneur, but he started his career primarily as an actor. We need to talk about this because you're known for your role as Zero in Holes, and I got my equity card playing Zero in Holes on stage in San Francisco. They tried to mount it as a theater for young audiences play, and it was like such a big theater, as an Orpheum Theater. It was such a big theater, they had to put me in the union in order to let me work there. So that's literally, for 3 weeks, I did this play playing character. Why I became a professional stage actor.
Full circle moment. That is crazy, bro. Yo.
The world gets smaller every day.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've also now become a social media influencer, and you're following like crazy, and you host events and interviews and guests from all over the world. Thank you for coming here and spending time talking about Snowpiercer.
Bro, thank you so much for having me, brother. I'm a huge fan of the show. You know, I of course watched the movie, the original, way back in the day. But when it was announced that we would be getting a series adaptation, I was like, I can't wait. And then the cast gets announced, and I see your name, and I'm like, heck yeah, this is gonna be nuts. You know, we're going now into, I want to say, some of the final episodes of the season, correct? Yeah, man. And the last week, man, it was the pinnacle, like, final confrontation between Layton and Pike, and I'm like, yo, this is really how these two gonna have to just chalk it up?
It was hard. That was hard for us, you know, because again, like, we don't get the script too far ahead of time, so we didn't know that was what it was going to come down to, really. And so to like have that, you know, I love Steve Ogg, like,
yes.
And so like, and there's that, you know, it's an interesting thing about TV, right? Because it's always such an dramatic, impactful moment to have a character die. TV, right? Like, cause you know, and so like, but when that happens, of your, it also means, like, are they not on the show anymore? Are they really dead? Like, I don't, you know, you never know. So like,
yeah, you guys have already kind of pulled the magic trick a few times with someone, you know, being gone. Then
on Snow.
And I love that. I love that. It keeps me guessing, and those are the kind of stories that I like, because it's a constant plot twist. And you know, after watching so much media over the years, you can always kind of predict what someone's next step would be. So I have to tip my hat to the writers and, you know, in this room for creating such a great world for Snowpiercer. I have to ask you though, the Tailies, right? At this point, they've seen, you know, two of their head honchos go at it, and unfortunately, we have seen the passing a pike as of this moment. What do you think the Tailies, what is their vision now of Layton, man? Because heavy is the head that wears the crown, and you have just depicted all of that every single scene.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's tough for Layton. I think he's like backed himself into a pretty serious corner, I think, at this point in the show, and it all sort of stems. This is like David talking as like somebody just like who has to occasionally sit next to Layton and be like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" Because he like has spent so much time trying to do everything himself that now he puts himself in these situations where, you know, your base, if we're talking politics, like your base is like not really fucking. That's tough. It has lasting consequences for him, actually. It's wild. It's cool that you're such a fan of the show. Do you ever, you know, put yourself in the situations, like if you were on all right, how about this is the situation this season, like abandon the train for New Eden or like stay with what you know? If you're on Snowpiercer, what do you do?
Listen, I gotta tip my hat to you, bro, because I trust Layton. At this point, I trust Layton. I trust you, bro. I trust what you've done with this character, man. When I said it earlier, I feel like that quote is perfect to describe everything that Layton has gone through. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You have had to show what it's like to not only be the face and the voice of the people who've been pushed down this entire time in the back of the train, but now you find yourself in a different position to the point where you want the best for all. So I trust Layton. If he's saying we're going to New Eden, I'm riding with Layton to New Eden. Let's go figure this out.
That's love, man. I I appreciate that. That's like that's a lot of trust. That's a lot of point given what you know in the show. So that's very cool, bro.
Yeah, man.
Do you, just since you're so knowledgeable about the thing, have any predictions for the end of the season? What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't, and that's the great part about why I love this show. It's like it's kept me on my toes. Like I'll never forget when I first laid eyes on Wilford, right? And even Sean Bean, I gotta even take a second to just highlight his incredible acting. I want to ask you as an actor, what is it like being on that set with him? Because every time he's on my screen, I immediately get irritated. He does such a great job, but I'm like, I know, but God, I don't like him. So what is it like to be on set with him doing a scene? Sean's full out all the time. But you know what I'm saying? Like between action and cut, he's like 100% in it. So you never really know what he's going to do, which is great as an actor. You know, skilled and has been doing it for so long. So he has this huge bag of tricks to pull from. And like, and we are in this like adversarial relationship. So all of the standoffs really feel like he'd be coming for me. And I don't even know if I've gotten to like some of the stuff that he's done this season, but like there's some things, Sean's not the like springest of chickens, but going for it. Like I don't know. That man's incredible, and you have to be on it. He's going to bring it. Like he forces you to step up, or no way anyone's gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing. Yeah, it resonates, brother. I'm telling you, it resonates so well through screen. Every time he comes on, I immediately feel something. And like I just have to. That's a testament to what he's done as an actor, and of course his resume. But when you two, are on the same scene on the same screen, I can imagine what it's like. Whoa, I can imagine what that's like on set, bro.
Appreciate you. Well, shoot, I should try to get. I know I should move on to anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm a huge gamer. All right, I've been playing video games my entire life. Every set I've ever been on, I've always had some game that I've been playing during that filming process. So that's how I've always remembered everything. I would like to ask you two things. One, what does it feel like to be now in a video game? I'm pretty sure I'm aware of you've done video game stuff before. I
can't remember because I do so many voice things, but I don't think I've ever done it before. So this one's like cute. This like Snow Fighter game is like
yes.
I mean, I haven't played it, so I also don't know, but like when the like sketches for the characters started coming along, and like I had to approve everything, and I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a side scroller, beat 'em up style game, 16-bit. It reminds me of retro games I grew up playing on a Super Nintendo. So that's why I love this so much. So shout out to everyone watching right now. Make sure you guys go and check it out. It is called Snow Fighter. It's a really cool game. I have to ask you one last question. Your top 3 video games of all time. Top 3.
Oh man, wow! I didn't know this was coming. What do I like? Well, Mario Kart, probably the N64 Mario Kart was it's maybe the only I'm actually good at too. You know, like I love playing video games, but I'm bad at it. Like I genuinely am. Except I can kind of get by driving. That one I was sort of good at. The original like Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog, that was my jam. Like beg and plead to get Sega Genesis, and we got one, and I played the hell out of that game. And what else? I feel like I should have something new. Oh, what's the come on, brain. I love the game series. They're making a movie out of it now with
God of War?
What's up? No, with like Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Oh yeah, the first Uncharted game. Actually, the first 3 of those really. I mean, those games broke my brain. They were so fun, and I hadn't played a long time when I sort of came into that, and I was like, oh yeah, that really brought me back.
Agreed. That adventure-esque game where you're looking for treasures, and it was a whole mystery solving, like case solving thing. So I agree. Uncharted is up there, and yeah, shout out to them for getting a film out with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, brother. But I don't want to waste any more of your time, brother. I know you got someone else to get online with. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I'm excited to see the rest of the season for Snowpiercer, and to the great Andre Layton, brother. To many more.
Hey, appreciate you, bro.
All right, now, my G. Have a great day.
All right, Andre, where you at? Where you at? I appreciate all the crab drops in the comments. Y'all are hilarious. This is T, everybody. Kids over here trying to get me caught up.
All right. Hey, man, how's it going?
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Great to talk to you. Great watching you on Snowpiercer. I also got a little choked up in that last episode. So,
for anyone tuning here who doesn't know, Andre Meadows, actor, gamer, sci-fi social media host, and comedian behind the YouTube comedy sensation Black Nerd Comedy. It's an honor to talk to you. Thank you for joining us on this. I know also you're a Blerd activist.
Yeah. I mean, well, I live the life, so it's like absolutely, man. So, and I want to say thank you for playing a character named Andre on the show. I appreciate that.
I didn't talk. I think I'm named that.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, it's been great watching the show. What I think is really cool about Snowpiercer is that it is this, fantasy, post-apocalyptic, sci-fi type show, but like you guys are also dealing with the same things that we deal with every day. Everything from like loyalty, friendship, family. I mean, congratulations on your TV baby. So it's like it's a lot going on in there. So how does it feel to mix those two things together, like the real life things and the fantasy stuff?
Yo, it is. It's dang, the TV baby is really something like really perfect right there, because I do want kids, and I do like it's interesting just how the world works, where you get to like have a moment at a moment when you're also thinking about those things a lot. And yeah, and like I got to spend a lot of time on set just like chilling with a baby, which was I'm thinking about putting that in my rider from now on, like time on set. But no, it is. I like that about the show too. And I think that's hopefully what sci-fi does, is gives us an opportunity to sort of look at our normal everyday lives through a lens of something that's fantastical. So it keeps us a little more interested in just what we're actually doing and thinking.
Yeah, no, I think that's really nice, because like you can see the fantasy of it, and like you said, it's the escapism. But then like certain things happening, like, oh, okay, I had some real life experiences that feel very similar to that. I just wasn't on a train when it snowing outside, So yeah.
Believe to get yourself off the train. Yeah, we're all doing it.
Yeah. And then what's also cool too is that because it's a show, I mean, I remember the original movie, but like with you guys being a show, being in the third season, you guys get to play around with some storylines the movie can never get to. So I wonder what that experience has been like for you, especially when you had the whole thing with the two trains, the pirate train going on and all that stuff. So
what is what we call it. Yeah. I mean, we do. That is the nice thing about TV, and I didn't really know. Like, Snowpiercer is really the first show I said yes to as a principal character to be like a lead in. So I hadn't done much. I hadn't done anything like this. I've been recurring on a few shows. I hadn't done a whole lot since then. I mean, other than that, and I'd never been, carrying this much of weight and going for this many seasons and all of that. So it is nice to get to stretch a story out like this. Like, you do just get to live in it a little bit. And you get to go through so many things. So it's a good acting challenge. And also, it's also nice just as a human being who is working around other human beings. This job, like, you don't get the same coworkers for very long, generally.
right.
On a show that runs a long time. So now it just feels like, oh, we have like coworkers. Like, I have a job with people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, it's just cool, and it's nice to like be able to form those relationships offset for that many years.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Even though now that we're getting into later seasons, some of those coworkers may start going off. So like, you start having retirements. You know what I'm saying? It's like it hurts. I'm like, I've been with you for years now.
Yeah, man. We should. I feel like as two people who like to geek out over stuff.
Yeah.
What are your favorite things to geek out over right now? Like, what's
I'm a nostalgia geek. I love like going back to like old cartoon shows that I grew up on, all the stuff from Saturday mornings and all that stuff. So I like to get into that.
Do you have like, what's your top Saturday morning? Also,
what's that?
Where are you from? Also,
I'm from the Carolinas. I'm
Okay.
on the East Coast. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. What are your first? I just wonder, because I'm always curious about like the regional differences in these things.
oh yeah. Well, that's where I'm originally from. I'm out here in LA now, but yeah. Oh man, I was a Turtles guy, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was into that. So yeah, and any of the like DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, like that whole block of Batman anime series. Just any of those.
Oh man, Batman still holds up. By the way,
Yeah.
That show's really good. All of those ones you mentioned are still really good. I was a big Gargoyles fan.
Oh yeah.
That one. And wait, I want to ask you this just on some Oakland shit, because I think it only had one season, but I do think it aired nationally. But do you remember the show Hammerman?
Yes, with the magical shoes. He put on the magical shoes and became Hammer Man. Hammer Man. Yes.
I'm sure everybody outside of the town about the show, but
Oh yeah. We all got Hammer Man. I appreciate that. So obviously you're a blerd. I'm just curious of like with your growing up, like, was that something that you always just felt confident about? Do you feel like it's evolved or changed over time? And do you feel that way about just blerds in general? Like, just when it was like younger versus what you see today?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think is like blerd. The term certainly didn't exist when I was, so like, it's nice that there is like a community of people that sort of, a lot of us were, this comment just popped up, David, you're so old. But yeah, I like that there's a community that is formed around, Black folks who liked to geek out about things. And I think like there was, because I work in Hollywood, like, and I pay attention to these things, like, as there became more and more representation for Black people on screens, like, there was also this necessity, if you were going to be the only one, you also had to be cool. You know what I'm saying? So like there was like this kind of fundamental marketability that came along with being Black and on screen. And that kind of marketability was geared towards like a super mainstream, like right down the middle audience. And like, how do you convert the sort of cool cachet of being Black, which we are cool, but like into how do you convert that into something that's this very like mainstream, one kind of Blackness is allowed on your TVs and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of us growing up never fit into that. We didn't like, you know, that wasn't who we were, and it was not even something I ever felt comfortable like aspiring to be. And so what I like about right now is that we're starting to like broaden the mainstream picture of Blackness and what that means.
Yeah.
Like the Blerds being a big part of that, recognizing that like we are also nerdy, you know, and like and the sort of also like there's like a, you know, now it's getting to be a little more cool to be nerdy in general.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that's really cool. Like I think that's goes along with what's nice about having the diversity out there in entertainment is that you don't have to have that one Black representative on a show to take care of everything. You can now have different people on the show or in a movie, and they can have different personalities and kind of show that widespread. So like that's awesome. So
Yeah. I like there's a lot about diversity in the sci-fi and superhero space and stuff, and I know we're seeing more and more of it. Is there anything in particular you're excited to see more of, or direction you're hoping that these trends will continue in?
Yeah, I mean, just honestly, just in general, I like to see more of it. And I think that kind of like something that you were saying earlier, it's that thing of like, you want to see us in this space for us, and you want to see us in this space for everyone as well, you know, because it's always just nice to be able to say like, hey, look, these are people that we see in our lives, but now we get to see them in the space or as superheroes or anything else. Like that's really cool. And it's just nice to see that we're seeing that mix in. I'm just curious from your side, because you work in this a lot. Like, obviously, a lot of companies are going to try to do this more and more. So, like, how do you give advice of like making sure you do it, but like it still feels genuine or authentic and that sort of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think, I think when I'm in the position that I happen to be in right now, where I get a little bit of choice in what I do, like those choices become important. I think like we're in a space in television in particular, and a little bit in films, where like we're kind of in a renaissance of it because so much of it needs to get made. There are all of these platforms, everybody needs content, everybody, you know.
Right.
And so there's a lot of stuff getting made. And I think the best thing that I feel like I can do right now as an artist is make sure that the things I say yes to resonate with me for some reason, right? Because I have the luxury of choice. The other things are going to get made also, I hope. You know, if it doesn't resonate with me, it doesn't mean it won't resonate with some other artist who's ready to do it or whatever. And I think that's also important. So I do think a lot about like passing on things because they shouldn't be mine, you know, but not because they should be made necessarily, right?
Oh yeah, no, I feel that. Well, I talk about that a lot in geekdom of like, you can be a geek or a nerd, but like you can be that about so many different things. There's no like one specific way of being. And like my growing up as a Black nerd might be different for the next generation. So like they may have a whole different experience, even both being Blerds, like your experience might be different from mine, and we might be into different things. So
yeah, no, definitely. I be like a lot of these kids in these comments, I have like a very different I don't have any idea.
Right. So yeah. But yeah, man, it's great to see you out there. Like you're just awesome to watch, and particularly awesome to watch as Snowpiercer. I know you can't say too much, but can you just give us like one word out of context to get us excited for the rest of the season? Just one word, just throw it out there.
Word? Let's see. I'm gonna say, oh man, what's the good word? I want to say the word Cuba, and
Oh,
context. And I don't even know if that's the right word to say, but you should. But if you watch tonight, I think that word will make a lot more sense.
all right. Well,
he spoke about internally about tonight's episode. So So yeah, that'll be my word. But that is the thing. I think I've been waiting for tonight's episode to air for quite some time. I really like it a lot.
Oh, nice. Well, everybody tune in to TNT. Check it out, Snowpiercer tonight. David said this is this episode, so you got to watch it now.
Like tonight. Word. Well, I don't want to keep on, bro. And
yeah, no worries, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate this for real.
yeah, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate you.
All right.
We're gonna get out of here. Thank you for your questions and your comments. I'm sorry, I know I didn't get to a lot of them, but I want to also thank you very much, Mica Burton, Khleo Thomas, Andre Meadows. Thank you, whole Blerd community, any of y'all that are out there, for being supporters of the show and for always questioning the show and keeping us honest and really engaging. All of the fans of the show, thank you so much for engaging with it in the way that you do. I don't comment a lot on social media, but I do see what you guys send my way, and like I appreciate the discussions that are going on about the show. So thank you. It's very nice that y'all like it. Yeah, and everybody else out there who stayed for the whole chat, that's amazing. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm out.